Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Toad TV. I am Mary Beth.
I am Helen.
We are the creative hands and minds behind Toad Hollow, and we are back from our winter break.
Back, baby.
Yeah, we're back, bitches. Anyway, we filmed every day for Vlogmas, and then took a couple of weeks off, and now we are rejuvenated.
It's so hard to get back into it.
So for 2025, new year, new us, new everything. Anyway, we are going to be podcasting every other week on Fridays.
Right.
So this will be coming out Friday, January 17th. And then we will do 2 weeks after that, and so on and so forth until, ad infinitum. Or
Until
we get
change
bored
our minds
and decide to do something different.
Right.
However, in the time since we have seen you, we have gotten a tremendous amount done.
Oh my God.
I
Yes.
mean, I am absolutely astonished at what we have actually finished, especially considering it was Christmas.
Yeah.
We got so much done.
We, I don't think we ever showed you the finished quilts that we were working on during Vlogmas, because we did finish those before Vlogmas was over, but they were presents, and one of the recipients and her husband watched the podcast. So we didn't want to show the final thing. Even though they wouldn't have known they were for them. We just didn't, we wanted the whole thing to be a surprise.
Right.
So we finished those 2 before Vlogmas was over. So
3.
3 quilts, because Mary did 2 of hers.
Right.
Um,
Between Christmas and the 8th, January 8th.
5 quilts.
5 quilts.
No big deal.
No biggie. We're quilters now.
But,
Anyway, I made 2 of the giant vintage star. I was doing the pieces. Here is a picture of it. I was doing the pieces as half square triangles, and when you make half square triangles, you get 2 of each block. So it just made sense to make 2 of them.
Right.
And didn't realize it, but the fabric that I made it from was one of Sister Number 3's favorite fabric lines. And so when she opened it, she was so excited, and she was so...
It was such a perfect thing.
It really was. And she and her husband were both perfect recipients of the quilts, because they truly appreciated them and they were so nice about it.
Yeah. Podcasting. Our brother-in-law, when he opened his, he opened it and undid it, and it was the back, and he was just so enchanted with it. I'm like, well, if you like it that much, wait till you turn it around.
And he got the reference to the Cowboys, the Dallas Cowboys, right away.
So I did the expanding star in the blue and the gray. For the Cowboys. So that was one of the things we did not say why I had chosen the blue and the gray colors, because we didn't want to tip anybody off.
Right.
There was only one person that we know is a Cowboys fan.
So that was those 2 quilts plus mine, which is on my bed, and I absolutely love it. And then for the boys, we made, for Braden, we used New York's sports teams, the sports things.
The sports players.
The sports players, and we put Green Bay on the back, because huge Green Bay fan. And for Cullen, we did cats on the front and men's soccer on the back, because he's a huge soccer fan.
Right.
And for Declan, we did the art club from Anita Dram, which includes cats drawing. Which
is all he saw.
That's all he saw. He did not see the giant mice in the middle or the dogs or anything. Just the cats.
All he saw was
honing in on the cats. But we put Plants vs. Zombies on the back for him.
He gets everything from now on.
Yeah, oh my God.
The most gratifying recipient of anything. I mean, he ran around with it. He rolled himself up on.
He kept turning himself into a
burrito. He would lay it down on the floor, roll himself up in it. We'd have to pick him up because he wouldn't be able to stand up, and he was a burrito. And then when he was leaving, he told his father his life is so much better because of his blanket, and he can never lose it.
I mean, the sweetest
You
reaction.
Want to make your aunt cry?
Yeah.
Because my brother's like, okay, you got to go in and tell your aunts exactly what you just said to me.
So for those quilts, we basically took fabric and patchworked it
Right.
together. We created
Declan's I did use for the art club. I did use the art club panel, and then I just gave it 2 borders.
Right.
So,
but for the sports ones, we just cut squares and put them together.
right.
And for the cats on the front of Cullen's, I did basically a
Kind of did a shadow boxing.
shadow boxing. That's what I was thinking of, the shadow boxing with the bright colors. It turned out really, really pretty.
It did.
I loved it. So, and then we made one for my sister-in-law using, oh, what's the line?
From the heart.
From the Heart by Anita Dram, because she loves to decorate for the different holidays. And we thought about making a Christmas quilt, but we decided to go with Valentine's Day because Christmas was over.
We knew we weren't going to be able to be seeing them until middle of January.
Right. So Helen did one. She used the pots and pans pattern from Villa Rosa.
Right.
And made that using the From the Heart. And God, it's so good.
It is. It's a really
so good.
I love that fabric line.
And then I did the Craftsman quilt for my brother using Lost at Sea, which is a line of fabric from Riley Blake. And
that was just
that one he nearly didn't get because, oh my God, I love that quilt so much.
That was a beast. You did a huge size.
I did.
Were there different sizes to choose from? Okay.
That was the throw.
Okay.
So yeah, no, I did the throw. I think they had a crib blanket, but I wasn't going to do that. I did the throw, and it was big, but so good.
Oh, it's such a good, and it worked perfectly with the fabric choice. Beast to quilt.
Yeah,
I say not having quilted it.
Actually, it wasn't terribly hard because I did straight up and down line, or I did straight across lines, and I just slowly rolled it up and fed it through, and it was not terrible to do. I thought it was going to be much, much worse, and my binding was actually pretty good. I think I got my binding pretty straight and everything. The only thing I didn't get was hiding the stitches perfectly. You can definitely see lines of stitching going around the back because I did the binding.
He's not going to know.
No, he's not. Nobody, I mean, short of putting it into a county fair or something like that, nobody's going to care.
Right.
Nobody's going to even know to look. It's just that's something that I want to work on for my own
skill level.
Yeah. Slowly get better at hiding those. So those were the 8 quilts that we made. And we also got some knitting done. We got some cross stitching done. We were machines.
Yeah. We each have a cross stitch finish.
Yes. Shall we start with that?
Sure.
All right. I finished my Enjoy All the Little Things that I was doing for back to school. I have it in a hoop just because I wanted to show you how it's going to be. I'm ordering a hoop that's going to be a 7-inch hoop. This is 5.5 inches across. I think I measured it. So a 7-inch hoop is going to be much, much better for this. But I'm going to put it in a hoop and then just hang it on the wall. But that is how it looks.
It's fantastic.
It really is. I adore this. I love this so much. I think I enjoyed stitching it. And I think the colors are just so perfect for me.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a whole bunch from this book. This is from Stitching the Earth.
Cross Stitch the Earth.
Cross Stitch the Earth. And it's just, I mean, I absolutely adore it. So I did finish that.
Come Christmas season, we put away all the epic cross stitch, and I was not done my schoolwork, so I put that one away to work on Christmas stitching. And the first one I found in our my Christmas whips, were my Christmas frogs, and I just had this bottom quarter to do. So I thought, all right, well, let's see if I can finish it this year because I started it 3 years ago. And I did finish it on January 6th. I was to the point after Christmas where it's like, okay, putting it away now is stupid. Just finish it.
Yeah.
So it is all done. I adore it. It's a Mama Witch cross stitch pattern. And it's just perfect.
It is.
Perfect
It's
for us.
fantastic.
So I'm going to send it off to our good friend Paige the Framer and have her put it in a frame for me.
Excellent.
So
I worked on Christmas Mice by Madame Chantilly. I did not finish it. I got quite a bit done, but I didn't finish it. So I'm going to leave that off to the side, and I will pick that up next Christmas probably, and hopefully finish it then. But right now, we both have decided that what we really like to do is work on something a little bit smaller, not the epic cross stitch first thing in the morning. So while we're having our morning tea and getting ready for the day, just picking up a small cross stitch to work on.
right.
Maybe not so small, but anyway.
But not the epic.
Not the epic. So what I decided to do was I am working on the Owl Forest Alice in Wonderland. It was a stitch along, so she released bits and pieces. So there are different sections that are each part. I was almost done section 1. I have now finished that, and I am working on section 2 right now. So here is a picture of what it's going to look like when it's completely finished. And you're going to be able to see that I am working on the middle part. So section 1 was going down these green sides and the arbor in the middle. And then section 2 are these pots and the rose bushes coming up. And then I know that there's going to be a white rabbit coming in here. So that is what section 2 is, working on these and then pulling in the white rabbit. I was trying to figure out when I was thinking, what do I want to pick up? Because I'm kind of over Christmas. I'm ready to move on to something else. And I was thinking, which one do I pull out? I pulled this out and I thought, okay, I'm almost done section 1. Let me look at what section 2 is. And the minute I saw the white rabbit, I'm like, I'm done. I know what I'm doing. So I'm really, really enjoying it. I had done, when I picked it up, I had the arbor done and part of one side, so that I finished that side, did all of this side, and then I've done the 2 pots and 1 full rose bush, and I'm working on this rose bush right now.
It's really good. It's going to be so good.
Oh, it's going to be so, so pretty. It's going to be big because there's a whole piece. This is the middle.
You have enough fabric, right?
I'm pretty sure I measured it before I did it. So there's a whole piece that comes down this side, and a whole piece that comes down this side, and parts that go across the top and bottom. So it's going to be big, but it's going to be so beautiful when I'm finished because I just really love Alice. I'm very excited about that. Okay.
So I picked up my The Earth Has Music. For those who listen, this was what I was working on when I put it aside for Christmas stitching, and this is the one where I did the first quarter, and that had the E and the A, and then I went over to the second page, and that had the RTH, and I put the RTH in, and then I looked at it and realized that the E and the A were in the wrong place, and I had to take them out, and that was about where I decided I'm going to work on Christmas now. I had gotten them taken out, but I have now put them back in again in the right spot.
Wow.
So I am now working over here, finishing up this page here. So it's going to come down along here, and then there's the bottom half. So it's just something, it's a slow working thing. Get maybe half an hour every day in. I love doing it.
It's a
I love working on the same thing
until
it's done.
And also seeing the progress.
Right.
you know, you really can see the progress.
Yeah,
And it's just, it's a nice, quiet way to start your day.
it really is.
Love this bird who's just like
Oh, he's
peeking
coming down.
over
Yeah.
to see what's going on down there.
So I love the whole look of the whole thing.
Yes.
And the saying. So
this also is from Cross Stitch the Earth, so
Right.
that it's going to go very well with
with
mine.
yours. Yep.
All right.
So that is my morning stitching.
Okay. On to the Epic Cross Stitch, because we are picking those up as well. And we're going to, rather than try and do a little bit every day, kind of give ourselves a block, hopefully once a week, maybe even twice a week if we're really good, where you can take a really nice block of time and
just work on that.
Work on it.
We finally got back into it on Saturday.
Yes.
Saturday? Yeah,
Part
Saturday.
of it was, first you got to figure out where you are, which
Right.
with my Pattern RX, I think is what it's called, the program, was very easy to find. It was really a piece of cake to find exactly
for me too. It was exactly
where
this
I
is where
was.
you are. And
yeah.
I mean, I had the needle where I was and everything too. So it was.
Yeah, no, it was
a piece of
really
cake.
very, very easy. Okay, so this is what mine is going to look like when I'm finished. If I ever finish. And this is where I am. So I had done most of this before. I have, what am I doing? I think I put in this little piece down here. I think that's what I got done so far. Not a lot. But
it was one day.
It also, I got in 140 stitches. So I got in something. You know, I got something in. This looks like a brown square. That is probably 7 different colors of brown, a couple of greens, and some grays. There are a lot of different colors that go in to make up that one brown square. Yeah. So it's just, there's a lot of switching colors and things like that. But I really enjoy it. I really, really do enjoy it. And I love just, we put our books in, we listen to our books and just sit and work on it. And it's just such a nice, quiet,
it's just it's
peaceful thing.
Slow process. And we were decompressing from second Christmas.
Yeah, because the boys came up on Friday and we were doing this on Saturday.
Right. So it was a decompression day and it was the perfect thing to do.
It really was.
We were just sitting, as Mabel said, listening to our books. So just quickly, mine.
This is what Helen's is going to look like.
And we are doing ours very differently because Mary Beth is working on one section and I'm kind of just whatever floats my boat.
Going straight across.
Whatever, when I'm doing it. This is the end here. Oh, I guess over here. So that's how wide this is going to be. And what I'm doing is I am kind of going across this way, but whatever color I pick as the next color to go across, I am then also kind of picking it up as I go, finishing up the strand of thread. Right. Essentially is what I'm doing.
Now, do you finish a section here and then cut it and go down to here and start, or do you pull this thread across the back?
If I have to cut it, then I'm done with that color.
Okay.
So it's as far as I can move with it, then that's what I'm doing.
Okay, I gotcha.
So I'd put in 191 stitches, all of the same color on Saturday. And I consider that a win because it got us back into the swing of doing it and everything.
Yes.
So, and I enjoy it so much. And the finished product is something that I am desperate to have.
I know. I absolutely love the finished product. All right. So next up we have sweaters. Nope. We have knitting. We have knitting overall.
Right.
We do have sweaters, but we have knitting overall. So Helen has a finished object.
I do. I finished my gingerbread socks. I finished them on the 26th of December.
They're so cool.
They really are. It was a very good choice to switch out the color brown and go with the darker brown. This is the Whimsical Christmas Socks by Stone Knits. You get this pattern and the robin, the English robin pattern as well. It was my first colorwork socks because I have always thought, do I really want to put the effort into something that is underneath pants that I am the only one that sees? But after seeing these, yes, I do. So,
and very rightfully so, because those are amazing socks.
So I'm going to keep an eye on her other patterns. She's got some with duckies that just go across the top. But it's things that I have to find the right yarn for so that the color work shows properly. But these are my finished socks, and now I can wear them.
Excellent.
I did the broken twisted rib cuff, which is an addition for me. She just had a 2x2 rib. I did the garter heel by Knit Pro Hunter, and I did the umbrella toe from Kay Jones. Otherwise, oh, and I didn't do the color work on the foot. She had the color work go all the way down.
Otherwise, this is a Frankensock.
Right. Otherwise, I followed her pattern to the T.
To the T. All right, so what colors did you use?
I used a red mini. I used a brown mini.
You used
and
this
I used a green.
Okay, so the green is Acorn. The brown is Stronger Brew from our coffee collection.
The brown, okay.
Cottage Brew.
The brown, I did use a full skein. But the others I did just pick from our mini bag.
But this is Acorn from way, way back from the Lost Words.
Right.
And I think this is probably Le Revers from our, when we did the circus.
Yeah. 20, I needed two 20-gram minis. I didn't use both of them, but I had to go into the second 20-gram mini to finish up the red. And it was 50 grams for the green for the socks. So.
Okay. They are so cool.
They really are. I adore them. I will wear them all year round.
So we have decided that we are going to start a pair of socks every month. We have put this up over on Patreon, so our patrons can please pay no attention to the wrestling that is going on behind the scenes. The dogs have come inside and decided that they want to be heard as well. Anyway, and my response is to just speak louder. However, I've decided that I want to cast on 12 pairs of socks this year. I have no illusions that I am going to finish 12 pairs of socks. I have ordered several size 2 needles so that I can cast on multiple socks in case I don't finish. But I have decided that that's what I want to do. And Helen is joining me. So we decided to open it up on Patreon as well. So over on Patreon, we have a video about us talking about our sock plans. And inviting everybody to join us if they want.
I am going to approach it more as I hope to get 12 socks done, but I'm not going to start my next pair, and I'm not going to start until I finish a pair.
Okay. So, all right. I have decided to start. We are, right now I am starting with a pair of self-striping. It's self-striping yarn from Mustache Yarn, and it is Lemonade Stand. Helen got me these for my birthday present 2 years ago, and it's just, I mean, it's so much fun. It's yellow, green, and pink. You can't go wrong with yellow, green, and pink.
And it was her, I forget what she calls it, but it makes sure that your 2 socks match because you get 2 50-gram skeins.
Right.
It's the perfect match or perfect pair or something like that.
Right. I did not start them in exactly the same way. Evidently, I started at the beginning of one thing and at the end of the other, says mine are not going to be perfectly matched, but I'm fine with that because I really don't care. I am using a berry colored mini for, it was supposed to be heels, toes, and cuffs, but I forgot to do it for the heels, so it's going to be toes and cuffs right now. Right now it's just cuffs. We'll see if I remember to put it in for toes, but right now it's just cuffs. Anyway, I am doing these 2 at a time. I do them on a size 2 needle, and this is how they are looking right now.
They're fantastic.
They are. This is just like such a fun color. And I really enjoy knitting self-striping socks because you're looking forward to see what the next one's going to be, the next color is going to be.
I love that one of them is
A speckle. People who dye self-striping yarn are magicians,
Yeah.
as far as I am concerned, because I don't understand how they do it. And I'm a yarn dyer. I know how to do things. I don't know how to do this. I have already put in one heel. I am doing the 2 at a time garter
I love
heel.
how the heel is coming out. With
Yeah.
the stripes.
2 at a time garter heel by Knit Pearl Hunter, because it's a great heel to do when you're doing 2 at a time, which I really enjoy doing. So this is where I am so far. I am just finishing this heel, and I'm about to come across and do this heel and start this one. So then I will have both my heels in. And I mean, I put this heel in one night while we were watching TV. I had to finish up the last 4 or 5 rows the next morning, but they go really quickly. So this is where I am so far. I am well on my way to finishing this pair of socks within the month of January and be ready to cast on a new pair in February.
I am also doing self-striping yarn. I'm doing mine 1 at a time. And this is, it's St. Nicholas.
Yes.
By Biscotti Yarns. And I am using a purple mini for heels, toes, and cuffs. And I went and found a pattern, and it's called Self-Striping Yarn by Sockapalooza. And I love this pattern. It's all yarn overs and that kind of thing to do the jogging, the Lego look. I just adore it.
It's fantastic.
It's just a really cool way to do self-striping socks.
So my next sock is going to be, again, self-striping yarn, because 2 years ago, Helen gave me a whole bunch of self-striping yarn. And I'm doing this pattern because I love the way it looks.
I do. I just adore it. So I've got the leg done, heels in, same heel, Knit Pearl Hunter. And then I am doing straight stockinette on my foot, which is what I always do. I do the pattern on the leg and then straight stockinette on the foot. So I am probably 2/3 of the way up my foot.
Do you find that if you do it from the palm, the bottom of your palm up to the top of your middle finger, that is
I do it to my ring finger.
Okay.
And then the umbrella toe
adds on the extra.
Gets me to the size of my foot.
Right. I do it to the top of, which is maybe 3/4 of an inch.
Okay.
More, gives me just a little bit of extra room.
And I generally do my leg the same.
I was going to say I do my leg the same way.
So that when I fold it in half, they're the same size. I'm doing them on a size 1 because I have found I had moved over to size 1. I had started on size 2s for socks. Then I moved over to size 1. For some reason, I moved back to size 2s. And I have found that my size 2s are just a little too big.
Okay.
So size 1.
I have very fast
64 stitches, magic loop. And I love working on them.
Yeah. It just, it's so much more exciting when you're doing the stripes.
Oh yeah, and it's I also just like having a sock for, I want to knit, but I don't want to think about it.
Yeah.
So that is my sock. I am not well on my way to finishing January, but I should be able to. They go relatively fast.
Yeah, and I'm really kind of looking forward to finishing these off so I can start those, because I can't wait to do those. Love the Lego look.
Yeah, and if you search self-striping, there are a whole bunch of patterns out there.
Yeah.
So that if you don't want to do just a stockinette sock. So.
Okay.
Again, broken twisted rib.
Okay.
Because I love that.
All right. Very cool. All right, let's talk sweaters. I've been working on the Traveler's Hoodie by Andrea Mowry. And I'm doing this in the Squirrel, which was one of our denizens of the Hollow. And since I last talked to you, I have finished up the back. I have attached it across the shoulders, and I have started on the sleeves. I have basically a working sweater.
Yeah.
This looks very short. However, I tried it on to make sure that it wasn't going to be too short. And it's supposed to stretch as well because the pattern with your knitting a couple of rows and purling a couple of rows, it's going to pull down
It's
a
like
little bit.
rib, yeah.
But even just without expanding it a little bit, this is how short-waisted I am.
Yeah.
This fits perfectly, absolutely perfectly. So I have finished the body of the sweater and I'm working on my sleeves. The big question is, am I going to put the hood on or not? And I was talking to Patreon about it, and at our book club, I was talking about it, and somebody asked, "Well, how often do you wear a hood?" And when I am walking the dogs at night, very often I put a hat on and then put my hood of the hoodie up. But a lot of times it's also to protect myself from drizzling rain and that kind of thing, which I'm not going to be wearing a sweater in. So I'm not sure if I'm going to put the hood on or not. I'm just not sure.
You have an issue on yarn, don't you?
Yes, but I can always either dye some more or do a different color and have like a green hood.
Yeah.
You know, this is going to be really interesting because I have the sun coming right in here. Anyway, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. We're going to have to stay tuned for that. Right now, putting it on, this is a super comfortable sweater, a really comfortable sweater. So it's going to be good without the hood.
The midnight that we did for Hugo's Choice last year, set aside for this.
Right.
And
it's even wound.
Yeah. So I'm looking for that. May be the next one I go into.
It's a relatively easy pattern to follow. It's bottom up. And you do the ribbing, I think, on a size 3 and the sweater on a size 5. And then the hood would be a size 4. So you need 3 different size needles if you do the hood. But it's just, I added, hers was cropped. So I added several inches to my body to make sure that it was going to be the size that I wanted to.
Yeah, I'm probably going to have to forego the hood just because I'm going to need several inches beyond you.
Yes.
Looking at that, I'm like, oh my God, that's like a bikini.
Yeah. This is a little bandeau, whatever it is. It's a little bitty thing for Helen. But as I said, I'm very short-waisted. But I absolutely adore the color.
It is.
It's such a gorgeous, gorgeous color. And the sweater itself is just a really comfortable sweater. So I am working on the sleeves. It is a very drop shoulder. So the sleeves are not going to be that long. I'm not sure how much longer I have to go, but I'm going to measure it out and I'll know. But yeah, well on its way.
Excellent.
Well on its way.
I'm working on my oldest cardigan, which is going to be my very first steeking. And I'm doing it in charcoal, not charcoal, it is a charcoal color. Something Wicked is the main body. And then I am using our sea glass minis from last year as my stripes. And I have finished the body. Oh my God, look how good it looks.
It really does.
It is such a great, fun, easy sweater to knit.
I know, it's just so much fun.
I haven't gotten to the point where I have to cut it or anything. But I'm on my first sleeve. Halfway done. More than that.
I would say you're more than halfway.
Yeah. But the minis are perfect because I was worried, am I gonna, are minis gonna work for the body and the sleeves? But I will have more than enough on the minis.
I love the way they show up.
So I just I love it so much.
It's so pretty.
So I'm just happily going along, doing my sleeves and worrying about, the cutting for
another day.
Future me.
Yeah. I did this with Gingerbread House. which was a brown speckle, and then I put the autumn colors in as my stripes, and they don't show up nearly as well as they do with the tonal, and I
no.
absolutely adore it with the tonal. I think it's so pretty.
Oh, I do too. I just think it's just fantastic.
So do I. That is just
And I
absolutely
just
gorgeous.
love the stitch definition on just something looking.
Yeah.
That is where I am. Happily going along.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Lastly, I have my English paper piece. I am finding that I have lots of interests.
Oh, so many.
So many interests. And I have to make time for all of them. And so I am trying to get, setting myself the challenge of I'm working on the Cherish quilt right now by Tales of Cloth. That's my English paper piecing project. And I am trying to get one block done a week. I need 46 of them. I had 4 done already. So for the first week of January, I managed to accomplish my goal. And this is my block. So for this week, I still have to pick it's only Monday. So today I have to pick my fabrics for my next block and then start basting and put them together. I love hand sewing. I really love doing English paper piecing. The basting and the picking of the fabrics is usually what slows me down because
right.
Decisions
are hard.
Not my strongest suit. I mean, I'm using my Heather Ross fabric, so that part is taken care of. I know that I'm using Heather Ross. It's just, which ones am I going to use and what's going to go in the center? And it's just, anyway.
It's not easy.
This is a me problem. But once I get to the point of actually sewing, I just love sitting there and doing my slow stitching. So I do want to keep up with the doing one block a week because I want the project done and I love doing it. So this is my block for this last week.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
I got my 2 blocks when we were doing our back to school work. I wanted to get 2 blocks done towards the Queen of Diamonds quilt, and I did. I got them done, and I do not enjoy hand sewing as much as you do. Love cross stitching. I just don't enjoy hand sewing. And I keep telling myself, you just have to keep doing it because the more you do it, the easier it becomes. And then hopefully you will slide into the slow stitching and enjoying that rather than, I want it done now, give it to me fast, 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 fast,
It's, it's process over product.
Yeah.
And I am finding I'm enjoying the process so much more than, get it done. And the stress of trying to get as much done as I possibly can. So I'm trying to just, take everything one step.
But when I'm knitting and when I'm cross stitching and when I'm quilting, I am good. Mm-hmm. I'm just enjoying the process so much. When I'm hand stitching, I'm usually sticking myself and bleeding.
You get very concerned about having the right number of stitches and then you put too many stitches in.
I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's just I don't enjoy it.
Yeah, so don't do it.
But I love the outcome. I love the idea of the Queen of Diamonds quilt, and I love my blocks that I have put together so far. I think they're so perfect because I'm using a kneaded Joram fabric.
Try and figure out how to do it on the machine, right?
I'm thinking of trying to do it on the machine, but I'm not sure. I have to, because I see how much pleasure you get from doing it, and I'm thinking, should I just keep trying? It's just, there's so many things that I want to do that are hand stitching that I just have to figure out how either to do it on the machine or, and it's not that this is an insurmountable problem. I know exactly what to do and how to do it. I haven't tried it yet.
Right.
So, but yeah, I love what you're doing.
And it's just I'm making myself fit the time in to do it. Because I love doing it so much.
Yes.
But there's always, well, I got to pick the fabric, so I'm going to knit. It's like, no, pick the fabrics and get one done a week. So that was my goal.
Do you have all the fabrics in like a tub?
No, they're all over the place.
Okay. I have all the Anita Jorams in a tub.
I'm working on this fat quarter bundle right now.
Okay.
So fabric line.
And you have all those together.
And I have all those together.
Gotcha.
And I'm really excited that I'm using my Heather Ross because I buy her and then I hoard her fabric
Right.
like a dragon, and it doesn't do me any good sitting in a stack somewhere.
No. It's going to be so good though when you're done.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. God, it's beautiful. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yes, yeah.
All right. So we're back to say a quick goodbye. Anyone who's wearing their Society of Opinionated Women sweatshirts, raise your hand. You got the memo. We did not plan this, however, we're both wearing the same sweatshirt.
We weren't planning on filming today, so just had to redo the goodbye.
Yes. So we hope you guys have a great next 2 weeks.
Go forth and create.
And we will see you at the end of January. Bye.
Bye.